How do Mime Artists? More UX stages. First up here we have Slowpoke, later on there will be Mega Slowpoke, but first we have just the normal, average, daft looking Slowpoke. Gone in with pretty much just another fully optimized team, which works. Mega Scizor I think is possibly one of the better Megas to have here, just because it can help with combos. It can get rid of some of the slow bros that are on the stage. It can, it may not, it very much depends how it feels. So it's a little bit random, but that randomness can help. The other Megas such as Gengar wouldn't necessarily do too much in this situation, just because you already have so many Pokemon on the field and more are added that getting rid of itself may not be the most effective thing to do. Beyond that, it's Genesect, Hoopa, Yveltal. You could swap that one out for just another Pokemon that's a little bit more powerful. See how you feel. Next up is Azurill. Again, this is the steel / metal type team that you no doubt know by this point. Mega Aggron, very good. Solgaleo, very good. Registeel, not necessary, but it's just a good Pokemon to have. Beyond that, it's the same as always, just comboing until you eventually beat the stage. There's not much to say. Some of these stages will be slightly more difficult than the ones in the last episode up to UX 30. Some of them need to be done maybe a couple of times to get the S rank. One of them I went in twice to know that you needed to take that Pokemon back into the stage. It's that kind of thing. Some of them will maybe take 1 or 2 tries. The Mega towards the end, Mega Slowbro, was probably the hardest one up to date of the UX stages, but that really isn't saying too much. And then next up we have Riolu going in, full fighting team. Tapu Lele, very good here to get rid of some of those unbreakable blocks if it goes off. The Deoxys has a psychic combo, or whatever the name for the psychic combo attack is. Very good on a stage like this. And then there's the Mewtwo itself, both shining and normal. The normal one just being able to hit very hard, so just a couple of those and you'll be able to beat this stage, no bother. And I beat the stage, no bother. And then next up here we have Swablu. Swablu is the one that you need, or you don't need to, but I certainly found it the best way to beat this stage was to bring it along. Because it's a 3 Pokemon stage, I brought the Mega Mewtwo, the one that gets rid of itself, the shiny one. And that's fairly effective. There aren't many moves on the stage, so if you are having trouble with it, maybe a +5 moves, or just do it 2 to 3 times until you get a good combo, or maybe even a Regice will go off and help a little bit in beating it, but it's not a hard stage in the slightest. And then we have Surskit up next. Again, fully optimized team. Ho-Oh, powerful. Incineroar, powerful. Doesn't go off very often, but it's powerful nonetheless. I think mine's is about level 9. Noivern, it's good. I don't think that the ability is necessarily necessary here. Necessarily necessary here. But it's a strong, powerful Pokemon. A lot of these stages I do go into blind and just happen to S-rank them the first time, because they're really that simple. And Mega Tyranitar, it's a good Mega, it's super effective. Not much more to be said. And there we go, 6 moves left, another S rank in the bag. just going to wait for the combo to finish by making hand gestures. And there we go. Talo is up next, another one that I brought itself along just because there are quite a few on the starting board and there aren't that many turns, you only get 6. So I'm still not exactly sure what it takes to get an S rank on these stages, if it is 50% again. But Talo can help, can give you a little bit of a combo to start off with and help you on your way to getting that tasty S rank. It's not a difficult stage again. Now, another full fighting stage. This is pretty much just what seems like a complete redo of the Meowth stage from the main ones. I don't think you get any more coins from it, unfortunately. So if you are looking for another very slightly different stage to grind coins out, this one is exactly the same as the last one. And there we go, 4 moves left, didn't get any of the coins, but I just wanted the S rank. And then Krillgunk, same psychic team as before, 2 Mewtwo's, Tapu Lele and Deoxys. Again, Tapu Lele still not wanting to go off, but a good few matches with the non-shiny Mewtwo and you can beat this stage very easily. If it goes off, when it goes off, it can be a little bit pernickety. And there we go, just 2 matches with the non-shiny Mewtwo and I think you'd be able to beat this stage. Next up is Corsola, full grass team. You could swap out the Kartana if yours isn't leveled up. I realise there's not that much excitement around Kartana, it's not very good. Mine's was skill swap to have beast power, which even then, still not very good. It's just a fairly average regular stage. If you're able to get Sceptile as quickly as possible, you can then make maybe 1 or 2 screen wipes. I think 1 would be able to beat it without much bother. Full screen wipes, not like that, that was a bit weak. Went for the Decidueye with a match of 4. My Decidueye now is about level 10 or 11 with skill level 3, or it might be 4, fairly highly leveled. So it's good if you can get the match of 4, oh it's level 8. It's good if you can get the match of 4 and do a lot more damage with it. Now this one's an odd one. I was able to S rank this one. There are only 3 moves. And there's a lot of ice blocks. I don't know if I made a specific move that made it very good, if that's the move you want to make, if that would happen every time, I'm not exactly sure. But it worked for me getting the S rank. If you can't do it, a +5 moves and you will have it without a doubt. That's at most, at very most, if you need it, go with it, see how it feels. And then next up here is Mudkip. It has some unbreakable blocks on the stage. I think it throws a couple of Mudkips at you as well. The unbreakable blocks I believe are just at the start. I don't think they're in the disruptions, it's just Mudkip, which is fine. If you didn't want to go with a grass team, you could always take along the Tapu Koko with eject plus. But this works as well, no bother. And there we go, there is the Mudkip. Next up is Vulpix. I would recommend for this one swapping out the Primal Kyogre for Manaphy, just in case you don't have a really good match with the Ash Greninja. That way you can get rid of some of the Vulpix. But 1 match with the Ash Greninja and that was it beaten. Very simple stage. And then we have Lapras. The same grass team as before. If you want to swap out the Tapu Bulu, feel free to. It's not very necessary, it's just fairly powerful. Feel free to go with another grass type Pokemon, Or if you don't want to take along Sceptile because it's a bit iffy sometimes, try something that's maybe got Raikou in it, that's got the Barrier Bash Plus. That way you'll be able to get rid of some of the barriers, and you can always go with a different Mega, something like Ampharos, or you could just go completely different, go with Tyranitar, Rayquaza, one of those types, the really good ones, and that would be completely fine for you. It's not that difficult of a stage, there's just going to be a couple of ice blocks throughout the match, which is fairly easy to deal with. It's an okay stage, it's not too difficult. There we go, 5 moves left on that Lapras there. And next up here we have Pidgeotto. Super effective team. Mega Tyranitar. Regice. Mamoswine. Alolan Ninetales. There are some disruptions, it is just going to be a couple of Pidgeottos on the stage. Definitely not worth bringing it along or using it as the Mega. It's a Mega I don't think I've ever really used. I think mine's is level 3. I don't know how it got to level 3. It's a fairly simple stage. There's not much HP in the slightest, but it can be a little bit hard to start a fantastic combo. If you wanted to go with a Mega that got working a little bit quicker, something like a Rayquaza, feel free to do that. Maybe even the shiny Gyarados would work quite well on a stage like this. A quick Mega that's able to get rid of itself so you can have a little bit of a combo in there. There we go, yet again, 5 moves left, got that tasty S rank. And then we have Mega Slowbro. This one, the plus 5 moves is not necessary. I did it a couple of times and got B ranks both times. Then I switched up to this team. I think I was using just Mega Gengar, which definitely was not the best choice. This team, it's good. If I'd gone without the plus 5 moves, I still would have had an S rank, so I'd recommend not taking the S rank along unless you've tried it 2 or 3 times and it's not worked. Mega Tyranitar before it's Tyranitar before it's a Mega can be fairly helpful, just getting rid of some of the Slowbros on the field. The shiny Tyranitar is there just because later on there will be well, not an awful lot, but there will be some barriers on the stage, definitely not enough to warrant it being your Mega. Hoopa, it's powerful, it's got Risk Taker. Mine's is Risk Taker. You can have it with Typless combo, but mine was already skill level 4 before that came out, so I'm just sticking with the Risk Taker. And then there's also Genesect. Genesect's fine, Genesect is okay. It's powerful, its ability is fairly meh. Beyond that, this stage isn't too tricky. If you can beat it quickly, you'll avoid the barriers, which is always nice. I'm just going to spin here until I'm able to beat it. There we go, 15 moves left. It's fairly standard, straightforward Mega stage. that is not too difficult. +5 moves, not necessary in my opinion. And there we go. It finally communicated. Next up is Minccino. That's Shiny, Mewtwo, Meloetta, and Buzzwole. Making one match with the Buzzwole and you will be able to beat it without a doubt. There are a couple of unbreakable blocks and Minccino's on the stage, but they're really not enough to worry about. It's a fairly standard, straightforward stage that can be gotten rid of in just a couple of matches. And then we have Vanillite with the full fighting team you've come to know, you've come to love, you've come to expect on this channel. Matches with the Buzzwole, matches with the Beware to begin with to slow down the disruptions, maybe for a turn or two. Then hit with the Meloetta or the Buzzwole as often as possible to be able to beat it. There we go. I did miss out a couple of the Buzzwole matches that I probably should have made over other ones, but that's stuff that you tend to see when watching it back. Then Chatot, Tyranitar, Regice, Tapu Koko, and Alolan Ninetales. Tapu Koko is helpful just because there will be a couple of Chatots on the stage throughout it, which can be nice to get rid of. Tyranitar, it's a super effective Mega. You know what it does. Do I need to explain more? Possibly. The Alolan Ninetales, super effective, can stop the disruptions for a turn or two if you make it with more than a match of 4 or more. It's a fairly standard stage that is not too difficult in the slightest. It's nice, it's simple, it's brief, it won't take you long. It's a nice one to come, to breeze through, get the S rank, and move on. I'll just swing here until the combo ends. There we go, that was quicker that time. And penultimately we have Axew. Simple. Rayquaza is very good here just to be able to get rid of some of those Axews that are on the starting board. If you make a couple of matches with Rayquaza, very simple, just able to get rid of 2 of them, do a lot of damage. There isn't that much health on this Pokemon on this stage, so it's fairly simple, fairly delightful, not that difficult of a stage. Couple of matches with the Rayquaza, and then a couple more moves just to finish it off. The Mega probably won't even Mega Evolve in the time that you've got. It's a nice, simple, easy stage. Before the last one, the boss, Zorua. How will I overcome this hard foe? There's quite a few unbreakable blocks on the stage. If you can get your Mega working as fast as possible, you're able to get rid of quite a few of those. Zorua will disrupt itself with itself, kind of, once. Or it might do it more, I just only saw it once. Making matches with the Beware. Same as always with the full fighting team. Beware. Then the Buzzwole. Meloetta if you can't make a match of 4. There's a little bit of health left there. A little bit, just a tad, and there we go. That's that stage done, and that is that set of 20 UX up to level 50 complete. Thank you very much for watching, and how do, Mime Artists?
Eggs! Eggs! E-double-G-S eggs!